Hello everybody, this is Bowser Dragon, and today I was going to give you guys a review, a more verbal review on a game called Fallout 4. I've been getting a lot of questions about it, and I just felt like maybe it would help people if I kind of showed them a little bit about what the game is, but before I get into that, I just want to say in as short and little words as possible is the overall game is, I would have to say it's well balanced in its own right. You have some more pros and you have some cons, but that's with every game. Some of the pros is when it comes down to your character selection or more like character creation, you can fine tune the character so you can, you know, make it a more muscular, or more smaller and more petite. You can add muscles, you can add body fat, you can make a toothpick. Um, so you have those selections, and then you have more detailed selections on the facial features. Like, do you want to add scars? Do you want to give them a big nose, small nose? Um, do you want them to look disfigured? Do you have them want a misformed ear? You know. Now, some of the cons in that area is there is, in my opinion, there's just too few selections. There's too few choices. They could have added more choices into the character creating part. Um, Also, another point that I've been asked is like, what else is there about Fallout 4? And to really sum it up is, like its predecessors, you have an open world where you go around and you interact with people and you'll have a multiple choice. Now, the only difference with these multiple choices, you actually hear what your character is saying. And again, they could have probably added a few more choices instead of having four base paths, you know. Um, so again, that's probably another con that, not enough choices in the verbal department, and yeah, so that kind of sums up the verbal part. Another good point is the weapon modification. Now, this I would see more as a pro because there are more weapon modifications, more weapon modification types. Like when you open a weapon, say take a combat shotgun, you can choose what kind of receiver it has, from advanced to automatic, rapid automatic, armor piercing, you know, and that's just the receiver part. So it's like, okay, how much power we want to dish out to our opponents. And then there's the muzzle, which you can put a muzzle brake or a compensator, which really help against recoil, or on a shotgun, I don't know why, but you can put a silencer on it, which reduces noise reduction and increases recoil per shot. You can put scopes on virtually almost any gun. Whether it's a short scope, recon scope, reflex scope. Um, each weapon has its own kind of variety of what you can put on it, but almost every weapon in the game can have a scope of some kind, whether it's a short range, long range, you name it. Most your rifles, you know, can put night vision on them. So if you have a 50 caliber sniper rifle and you want to see in the dark better without getting a perk, you can put a night vision scope on it, or a recon scope. Now, in some ways, recon scopes, they're a little bit nicer if you have a hard time spotting your enemy, because how a recon scope works is you put the recon scope on your rifle and it will literally track your target. Now, another pro in this game is when it comes to the power armor. Is power armor is treated like a vehicle. In order to use it, you actually have to have a frame, and in the frame you install the power armor pieces, unless the armor already has it on them, of course. You enter the power armor, but in order to use it to its full benefit, you need a fusion core. And fusion cores you can buy from merchants or find all over the place and steal them from generators. And with the power armor, once you climb into it, it does not stack onto your current armor's base, but the armor rating from power armor is on average about 10 times better than what you can get. Especially early game, say if you just started playing the game and you happen to have, say, 2 or 3 power cores, you're going to do fairly well. You know, as long as you don't do excessive sprinting, you know, but that's a different, you know, that's kind of varying off topic. And some other things that they have is you get bonus perks depending on your allegiance with certain people. Perfect example, and I hate to say, spoiler alert, if you, what's that word? Basically, you align yourself with the Brotherhood of Steel. You can get what they call is a vertibird, which is basically a helicopter in the game. You can't fly it, but what does happen is when you get vertibird smoke signal grenades from the Brotherhood of Steel, you can toss these and they will fly over to you. And then when you hop into the vertibird, you choose a destination. Now, whatever you choose, the vertibird will then fly up and take you to your destination. Um, and a bonus perk of that is you have a minigun that has unlimited ammo while you're on the vertibird. Now, if you're playing this game on normal or very hard, you're going, why would I do that? You know, because I could just fast travel from point A and boom, I'm in point B. But, okay, now in normal or very hard mode, depending on what setting you set on, yeah, that would be kind of pointless. You know, you probably would not want to waste a grenade. But if you're playing a more intense game called survival mode, you can't fast travel in survival mode. So if you happen to have that, you know, that's going to help you a lot. I personally have not tried it in survival, mainly because I keep dying in survival. Starvation. Um, Another thing is, now I want to point out, is the ability of workshops. Um, what I'm really getting at with the workshops is it's not so much like using mods or stuff, you know, from Bethesda's website. No, it's as you probably see in the trailers, you can build your settlements. That very much is true. But what the trailer doesn't tell you is some settlements you actually have to be an ally with the people who are basically occupied with that settlement, or you actually kind of sort of might need to kill every single person in there. Like, there are a few settlements that you really cannot become allies with, so in order, and if you want the settlement as your own, you kind of have to kill everybody there. So um, now for all you trollers who just go around killing people, that's probably the best thing for you. um, Now the hardest part about Fallout 4 really is probably with most games is because it is multiple choice of, you know, in the RPG category, is finding out who is really the good guy and who is really the bad guy. Now, I could sit here and be a douche and spoil it, but I'm not, okay? To really find out who is the good guys and who are the bad guys in Fallout 4, you really just gotta find out for yourself. Um, because in some ways, the way I see it is a lot of them are a good guy in their own way. It's just the way about how they go about going to their goals can be considered questionable with people of different morals. You know, it's just basically our views on how we live life in comparison how Russia's with their own views on their own way of life, etc., etc., etc. It's basically each group, you can view it as its own little country. I know that's a really weird analogy to use, but you know, just think of all the groups or all the factions as their own society. Now, each society has its own pros and its own cons and its own agenda. So it's like, it ultimately comes like, who do you like best of that agenda? Really, like, whose agenda do you rather support? Because in the end, I mean, you could justify who you support all you want, but it's like, really, who do you feel like deserves the help the most? Who do you think should gain your support? That's what it really boils down to. Now, I myself, I cannot answer that. I cannot really sit here and answer how you can help a person, or choose a faction, because really, I mean, that's like me telling you to choose who should be your friends. Now, that's a dick move. I mean, I can't tell you who you can be friends with. Only you can decide who you can be friends with. That's only a you thing, So, um, but I think that sums it up, and, you know, I would say thank you for watching the video. If you continue watching the video, I will show you a few things that can be done in Fallout. If you want to watch, just keep watching. Otherwise, feel free to move on, because I've pretty much covered up my entire review. Because, yeah, personally, for the way I play video games and how I seek enjoyment in video games, for me, this game was super. Now, I cannot promise the same satisfaction for you because I don't really know you and I don't know what your game style is. So again, for this game, it's more like, what do you like? You know, you could browse Steam all you want and listen to all their little reviews of what they have to say. Some of them have good points, some of them have bad points, but it's like, okay, but that is that person's own experience. They're just telling you what they feel and what the game comes from. Now, and where I am more likely trying to point out like what is available in the game, not so much like what I liked in the game and what didn't like in the game, but like what the game has to offer. Now, personally, I mean, yeah, I did add a few points that they could have done better, but that's just my own personal opinion. You could agree or disagree. That's entirely up to you. But yeah, so to really sum it up again, Fallout 4 has fine character customization, more mods for your guns. I would have to say it's a pretty big map because it feels like it takes forever to go from A to B. I do like the fact that they did add weather conditions. I don't remember seeing these in Fallout New Vegas, but I might be mistaken. Like for example, if you're traveling about the Commonwealth, as they refer to this place, you'll find green skies, which is a radiation storm. Now, they are very hard to avoid. The best way to avoid them is basically find shelter, or if you can go inside of a building, literally hide out in there, and they usually last like 1 or 2 in-game hours. So if you can wait in a chair, just wait 2 hours, it should pass by then. You know, so um, but other than that, that kind of sums up my review. I mean, I felt that I've said everything about Fallout 4 to keep it a more neutral and biased, because in the end, I don't want you to buy this game because of what I said. It's I want you to buy this game because it's something you yourself want, you know, because anyone can tell you, oh, buy this game, it's really good, you know, and then you go and buy it, and then it turns out something it's not really fits to your playstyle, and you feel like a douchebag because you spent 40 to 60 bucks on a game that you probably won't never play again. Now, I have spent over 400 hours in playing this game, which kind of tells you that someone like me enjoys it. But, you know, again, not everyone enjoys the same thing. You know, not everyone likes the same stuff. So, you know, be aware of that. So yeah, now I'm going to go into my game and kind of walk you through a few things here and there. So, okay, on this particular map, I took my character and went over to the final, well, not really the final, but I would say a really big island that you can claim as a settlement. Now, some of you have asked me about some of the DLCs. Now, the DLCs really have their own pros and cons on their own level. Like, if you choose the Wastelander DLC, you know, it will allow you to have these concrete walls. As you can see, there's concrete walls all over the place, you know. Now, these, in my own opinion, they're probably the most appealing to stare at. Here, let me just pull up a few things you can build. It's like you can build this, you know, and then it has its own door frame, its own little window frames, you know. It has different kinds of frames. Another thing about concrete, if you have this DLC for it, you can sink the concrete into the ground, which gives you this effect. So it looks like it's a complete, you know. It has its own set of stairs, and its own roof system. Now, another thing about that I probably did not mention is when it comes to building your settlements, you might go, oh cool, I can put lights in my settlement, you know, and that'll be like super duper awesome. But what they don't really tell you is that you need to power them up. Say for example, here, we'll just go over here, put a couple of these, you know, put on some different ones, you know. And I think that should do it. Oh, what do you know? They're not on. Okay, well, you know, for those of you who are interested in the game, there's an easy way around that. You basically go to your generators and whatever generator you have available, you know. Here, we'll just put down this one because this one's quiet and you'll be able to hear me still. But now, as you see, I put a generator down, but they're still not on. That's because they're not on a power grid. A power grid is basically where you put conduits and power connectors, and within that range, stuff that does not have a 1 on it, it can be powered up. So, perfect example, case in point. Let's see, let's just, for the shits and giggles, put that there. Now we connect that there. And now see, I connected a wire from the generator to this little power outlet that you see. And, you know, as you see, all the lights have lit up. You know, and then of course, if I pick it up and move it too far away, you know, as you see it, I moved too far away and the lights went off. Move back and they're back on again. You know, and that's kind of how the building works. You know, there is, and I don't care what people on YouTube will tell you, there is really no right or wrong way to build a settlement. The right way to build a settlement is what you think would benefit you, really. There is no right or wrong way to build it. You know, it's all about what you find best, you know. So you could build a thing any way you want. There is no right or wrong way of building things. Another one that comes with one of the workshops is conduits. I'm hoping I'm pronouncing it right. I don't know. Now these kind of work like wires, but they're more like pieces of metal. Here, let me put down a few. So instead of having pieces of metal or wires dangling about, you just put these conduits around, and and you put intersectors and corner pieces. It's not working for me, damn it. But basically you get the idea, you put these corner pieces on and there we go. You put the corner pieces on, and so basically you have done something similar to your wire work, but you've made it more what some people would call neat. Now the downside with the conduits is they're a little bit tricky, because if you have like a skosh tilted, the whole thing will be tilted, and it's not like you can pick up the whole thing and straighten it out. So it's like, it's very time consuming on that front. But that's neither here and there. You'll probably figure it out as you start playing. They have different things, like different miscellaneous items, like for example a siren or a recruitment radio. So if I were to put this here and put power to it, people would start coming to the settlement. I'm not going to put one because I want to keep this island to myself, thank you. Now what are the DLCs is the contraptions. Now the contraptions is really very handy if you have lots of materials, and say for example you need, what do you need? In my case, I always need ammunition. So say you need ammunition, you basically build one of these, and inside one of these you put in the desired material. Now you think, oh cool, put one of those down, boom, you can start building your ammunition. No, not exactly. In order to really for it to work properly, you will need, if I can find it, bear with me. You'll need one of these. You'll need a computer, and of course computers need power. So we'll go here. Oh shit, I need a power of 8. That should be enough. So now, as you see, I gave it some power, and now the thing can now create. So once you build your own stuff, and this works with all the other contraption machines, is basically you access this computer. This computer will tell you what you need. Say for example, you want to make 44 rounds for the 44 Magnum. It'll tell you what you need, and basically, boom, if it has the material, it'll start spitting them out. So, so that kind of covers that part of the DLC. What else do you probably want to know, settlement-wise? Other than that, when it comes to the settlements, it's all about like, what do you find prosthetically pleasing, really? So I could. Oh, another thing with settlements, I almost forgot. You will want to make defenses. Defenses allow you to protect your town while you're away or while you're there. Now, people go for the rocket launcher. I personally do not use it because you can get killed by this defense turret. So it's really aim it somewhere that you're not going to be likely to stand. So when you want to really defend your place, most people would probably just go with a heavy laser. It kills rather fast and it's deadly accurate. Or you can hire a robot or settler to stand at one of these things. So, and or you can put down some traps. Now, if I had God mode disabled, that would hurt like a bitch. But I turned on God mode for this particular game because I'm not really, on this particular character, I'm not really playing to play the game, I'm more or less to play creative mode. So, yeah. And that's the way I play, so. Sometimes I play survival with my friend. See who goes further. You can also build stores. Each store has their own abilities, and usually the higher store, the more stuff they have. Unfortunately, stores require people, you know, and certain perks. Now let's go to the perk tree. As you can see, the skill trees is a little different from the previous games, you know, and I personally think it's a little bit better balanced, but you know, that's entirely up to you. Like, what do you think is better balanced? Like for example, there's a perk that allows you to breathe underwater or become invisible when you're underwater. There's a perk that allows you to fast travel while over encumbered, which I think they also had in New Vegas. Ninja, increase stealth damage. You know, I think it's 4.0 if you use weapons in a sneak attack, times 10 if you use melee. Gung Fu, ask me what that does. Intimidation. Oh, Patsy your enemy. Don't try it on raiders. They usually don't fall for it as much. Power armor, powertrain, basically allows you to run over your enemies. Yeah, that's another thing. If you're in power armor and you got the perks for power armor, you can literally smack into your opponent and knock them the fuck out. Really awesome if you really love running people over. It's really fun. VATS, or vans in this case. So, say you are lost and you don't know where your objective is. You basically activate VATS mode, say, let's go to, oh good. So say I need to go to my waypoint, and so I activate VATS. Now, see that little green thing? That means wherever my location is, I want to follow that. So, and that's how that works. Let's see what else. The Mysterious Stranger they brought back. Bloody Mess they brought back. If you and this is for those who've been following Fallout. Personally, and this is just for me, so I can't speak for everyone else. So you know, really kind of take your own word on this when you play the game. But like a thing I really like is the concentrated fire, because when you aim at a person, you basically increase accuracy the more times you put shots into a person. And of course there's the hacking, the commando. You know, the commando allows you to have better kills with automatic weapons. Gunslinger, same thing with pistols. This is for rifles. Now, the part that I don't know, or I'm not sure if it qualifies, is shotguns. I would suspect that follows under rifles. Or machine guns, or your big cannons, you know, like minigun, bazooka, whatever. You know. Some other weapons that have awesome mods is, like, for example, you could actually saw the barrel off, for example, on a minigun, or you could convert it to a triple barrel. Yeah, it depends what you want. So here's a perfect example. Now this was a combat rifle, and I basically gave it a 0.308 receiver with a long-range night vision scope. You know, back to the mods, weapon mods I was talking about. Yes, I put a suppressor on it so I can sneak around. Now this is not a weapon I personally use a lot. It's just one I made just because I wanted the experience. Again, another rifle. The only issue I don't like about this particular gun is it has a very ugly recoil. Let's see, advanced missile launcher. Self-explanatory, really. You can get swords. This thing is fun. Yeah, so remember earlier there was the sniper rifle? This is what the rifle basically comes off from, is this gun here. So when you saw the 308 sniper rifle, it was basically a variation or a modification version of this rifle. You can have a short barrel, or I mean a short stock or long stock. I put a full stock on it, I think. Or you can put a short barrel on it. So, another variation of the combat rifle, you know, and of course, all these variations you see, you can build it your own way. So, the fact that I have multiple of the same thing is the same thing. So again, more. I love that. Flare gun. A Gatling laser. Hand grenade, mines. Oh yeah, another thing. In this game, you want to watch out for landmines because in almost any case, they're an instant kill unless you're heavily protected. Another variation of the combat rifle. A power fist. This weapon might seem very good, but after early game, for my character, I love this is like my favorite thing that I use. You know, just walk around and whack people with a hammer, but not the most effective way to stay alive, I might add. And if you ever feel like going commando, who says Arnold Schwarzenegger is the only one who can have a 4-barreled bazooka? Now this thing is kind of like acts like a grenade launcher, but yeah, because it has a very bad bullet drop. But when it hits your enemies, it hurts them like a motherfucker. My little shotgun, never leave home without it. And yeah, here's a 44 Magnum. It's really nice, you know, I mean, it's high powered, but slow firing rate, and without using console commands, the ammo for this gun is a bitch to get. So, now, this is an interesting gun. Not my favorite gun. This gun requires variety of ammo. Now, variety of ammo means you'd probably have to Google what ammo it takes, because I really don't know all the ammo. I don't think I've ever fired this gun before, really. That minigun. Now this is one of my favorite guns. Now you might notice that I do 100 damage with this thing. Normally these things only do up to 20, but the only reason this one does 100 is because it has an ability. If you see under here, you know, look at the screen here. There's it says bullets explode for blah 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 blah, you know, and that is just like totally killer here. Let's see if I can find it in my thing here. Where is it? Here we go. So I'll give you a brief demonstration what that does. So that's what the minigun. Why I didn't put a the silencer on this one, I'll not understand. But here's another rifle that I really have come to admire and love. This is a variation of the hunting rifle. You know, again, multiple mods. Matter of fact, it actually kind of looks like this, or without the butt. So, let's see if I can actually find one. What? I have another minigun? Oh yeah, perfect. Pistol. See, you can put a silencer on a pistol. Pipe pistols are garbage in my opinion. This thing can be a dick move in VATS. What? Oh wow, I did not know I had that. Yeah. Oh, okay, so yeah, again, another variation of the combat rifle. Now this gun is a junk jet, and now this one only does damage depending on what kind of junk you put in it. So I named it Teddy Bear because I like to insult my enemies by literally stuffing a teddy bear in that thing and go kapooya! Because you know you fucked up and got killed by a teddy bear. I mean, you get killed by a teddy bear, you know you're stupid. Yeah, there's no way to beat that. No way to beat that. Duffel rifle, another awesome gun. This gun might look fun, might look intimidating, but when you get other guns, it sucks. I'll see another variation of the minigun. This one has a triple barrel. The triple barrel does the most damage, you know, per bullet, but it has a slower firing rate, but it's a little bit more accurate. But with the minigun, it's really like, which one do you like better? Because all three versions kind of do the same kind of damage. You know. And that's for weapons. So yeah. I think one last thing before I kind of end this video. And yeah, for those of you who are still watching this, you know, to kind of see what else you can do in here, you know, I appreciate you watching. You know, because you know this is to kind of give you an insight what the gameplay is like. Oh, good, people are over here. No, I'm not going to kill them. No, they're part people I saved. I mean, what kind of savior would I be? It's like, okay, I saved you. Now I'm just going to kill you. That'd just be kind of a dick move, right? So yeah, and like all Fallout games, loading screen always has helpful tips. So yeah, be sure to read those.
Huh?
Carla.
Hey there. Trading?
Just browsing for now.
Oh, well, next time.
So yeah, as you see, your character speaks in this game. Matter of fact, this is a perfect example to show you how conduits, wires work. As you see, I have wires wired all the way around this neighborhood. That's because I don't like the noise of generators. So what I did to rectify the problem is I built this thing. No one ever goes in it, so I don't care. But welcome to my generator room. Did I need to build this mini? Nah. I only built this just to see how much power I could actually generate before I hit max. So I put these there because yeah, it was before I put in this. a little stuck. He's normally never stuck there. I feel sorry for him. Be prepared that sometimes your followers will glitch. And there's no way around that when that happens. Because, like, for example, one of my characters, I cannot seem to get rid of my follower unless I choose a different follower. So I don't know what I did there.
You know what? Since we talked, I'm feeling swell. Look at the two of us here in Sanctuary. Prepare
Some guy.
for the future.
Matter of fact, this will be kind of a spoiler alert. But that guy you just saw me talk to, for those of you who play the beginning game, this is the guy that
Hey,
speaks to
now
you.
that you're back here in Sanctuary, how would you like a job?
They didn't tell me much, Vault Tech. Just to make sure everyone filled out their forms. I was supposed to win a pack of steak knives.
But yeah, so if you remember the guy that knocks on your door at the beginning of the game, that's kind of what his fate became. He didn't die, he became a ghoul, so that's the only spoiler alert I'm gonna give you, and you'll probably never find out about that spoiler if you don't follow. So yeah, as you can see here, I
Look
kind
at
of
you.
lit up the place
2 centuries. and
using
your
conduits
skin's
and
as smooth
electric
as a
wires to
baby.
power up the place. So let's see if I have a rifle so I can zoom in. Nope. So yeah, I'm not sure if you can see that. So, let's see. Other points for Fallout that I can give you. You know, quite honestly, I can't really think of anything else. So, yeah, thank you for watching. I appreciate if you if you did stay watching for me to show you my little demonstration, really props on you. I do tutorials on games, so if you need tutorials, you need assistance, there's, and overall, if you want as I like to call an unbiased opinion about something, I'll be happy to help you out on it, especially if it's something I have and I know of, and if it's something I don't have and I don't own, I'll be happy to look into it for you, so, but yeah, so basically this is my video. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I hope this was helpful for you. I'm always looking for feedback, so feel free to leave a comment, and if you choose to subscribe, that's because you chose to. I'm not gonna ask you. Fuck that shit. I hate it when people ask me, please subscribe to my channel for more videos. I hate when people do that. I mean, it's just like, really, dude? I am subscribing to you because I find you interesting. I'm not subscribing to you because you're acting like a whiny little bitch and you want subscribers. Fuck you. So, but yeah, all in all, this kind of sums up my video, and I support other people, who want to find their own opinions, because ultimately that's the best way to go about it. Is basically, I do recommend, if you have a friend who owns this game, ask him or her if you can play it, and then decide, that's the ultimate way to go. Otherwise, good luck. And if you do get Fallout 4 and you happen to like Fallout 4, personally, you know, the DLCs really add more options to the game. But if you're fine with just the base game, you know, that's on you. Alright, again, so yeah, this is Bowser Dragon closing out, and you all have a good day. Bye-bye.